What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex, and in this video, I want to talk about how sorting will work in Hogwarts Legacy, so when you get sorted into your house. Now, I don't mean this as any kind of clickbait thing, because I am going to factually talk about it, but I want to talk about a little bit more than it as well, because to be honest, it's a little boring, and we've talked about this before. It's in the FAQs. If you actually go on their website and look at the FAQs, now, there's been some changes in terms of questions and answers that they've given there, and how they've answered them, and it was left ambiguous at first, right? How sorting will work. They didn't really give a good answer. Now, the definitive answer seems to be you pick. So you start the game, you choose your character, you choose their looks, all that stuff, and, maybe we do a couple things before, but when we get to Hogwarts and we get the sorting hat on us, it seems like they're going to literally give us a screen, and you pick. Do you want to be, which of the four houses do you want to pick? And you pick. And that's it. That's it. So, in terms of explanation, there you go. Now, again, why this is not, in my opinion, clickbait, and I'm not doing this, honestly, to trick anybody. I want to talk about, a couple spin-offs from this. So, number one, is that something that people like, or, is that acceptable to people? Well, okay. Well, number one, that's for you guys to answer, right, in the comments. Do you like that idea? For me, I don't mind it. I do think, because we had this discussion leading into the state of play. Actually, probably a year or so ago, we talked about sorting. And, do I want to test? Do I want a personality test to determine which house I go in? Do I want it to be randomized in that way? Not necessarily randomized, right? I don't want to spin a wheel, whatever answer it is, that's where I am. But do I want something where it's like, well, they're literally judging me? Like the hat is looking at my personality and putting me in a house. That would be cool. And obviously, there's real tests, online that you can do it on and things like that. At the same time, okay, the thing is, from a game perspective, this is the thing that makes the most sense. While it may not be the most flashy, while it may not, be the thing everybody wants, right? Everybody kind of wants, or some people maybe, right? Maybe they want more. It does make the most sense in a video game where it's a game where you get to choose. I don't want to say your class, but it almost is like that in a way, right? Like when you have a game, right? Is it randomized what class you're in? No, most times you pick, you have that kind of power in your own hands where you get to pick, and then the game starts you there. So for Hogwarts, it makes sense that the game wants us to be very black and white and say, hey, where do you want to be? You want to be a Gryffindor? Okay, you're going to be a Gryffindor. Now, we have had the discussion, and maybe we can have this in the next video if you guys want me to. What happens? Like, what does each house give? I actually saw somebody ask me that for a video. I remember I asked for video topics, and you guys gave me a lot of them. So if you want any other videos, keep sending the topics in, and we'll start to go on those. Somebody did ask, what would, if you're in Slytherin or if you're in Gryffindor, do you get like a buff? Like, like you get something for being in those. I have talked about that before, but I will revisit it now that we have the state of play. But what I mean? Like, so I guess what I'm saying is those things, okay? Or even like the friends. Now, we know it seems like there's going to be at least one friend from every single house. So, and it doesn't seem like anybody's locked out. So that would be, because a year ago, I said, well, you could do something like that. If you're in Gryffindor, you could say, well, you only have like specific friends you can make. You can't make, say, a friend in Slytherin. And I guess I'm not saying that's a good idea or a bad idea, but when you have something that fundamental, to leave it up to chance, leave it up to a personality test to see which house you start in, doesn't exactly, you know what I mean? Like, again, from a game perspective, they probably want you to make that choice where it's like, okay, what, again, black and white, what do you want to do? Where do you want to be? You pick and it does it. So here's what I would say, though, because I have seen people suggest this. To give an option, though, really isn't that hard. And that's one of those things we've talked about before, right? Kind of like a little thing that builds goodwill with us, the fans, where, it is small. You know what I mean? You could even steal like a Pottermore kind of, you could steal a quiz from online, or, make your own, whatever you want to do, and leave it up to us, actually give us even more power, right? So when we go there and we sit down and they put the sorting hat on, I would love, this is the best of all worlds, this is what I would personally do. Let us choose which of those two options we want to do. Do we want a personality test in which once we give our answers, there is no going back? Now, here's the thing. You could always start a new save. You could start a new account or new whatever, and you just keep trying it. So there are ways around it. But say, like, okay, you're going to do it. You're really pretending you're a Hogwarts student. You go into the school, and you're going to literally leave it up to chance almost, right? You're going to take a personality test, and the game will The game will decide, and you don't get a choice. Or you get to choose the second option, which is just give me the 4 options, and I will pick one. And so now you've done both. Now again, what the FAQs say, it seems like it's only that. It seems like, again, a screen is gonna pop up that says which of the 4 are you gonna, and you pick one, and it's that easy. So that's what it seems like it's gonna be based off of what they themselves have confirmed. Now, I guess that rules out entirely it being only a Pottermore-like test, right? Like you go and you don't get to pick at all. It's simply they give you a test, you answer the questions, and then they pick for you. That, that could be one of 2 things they could do, but it can't be the only one because, again, the wording just isn't there on the website. So, I wanted to go over this again. I saw a lot of people continue to ask that question. That's okay. It's a important question. It's one of the most, when you think to Hogwarts, well, one of the main things you think of is getting sorted. That's one of the most important days of your life. That's one of the most important events. And again, what you now do, and again, maybe we can do this in the next video, if you give people something special, basically, for being in one of the houses, right? Well, again, that adds a lot of weight to which house you're in. So do you leave that up to chance? Do you pick it yourself? Again, it seems like we'll be able to pick it ourselves, but I would love, again, give me 2 choices. One, for people who do just want to pick, right? It's like, well, I don't want to answer. Say I want to do Gryffindor, because I do. I've said that before. I'm going to try to probably do all 4, but say I want to do Gryffindor first, right? I would like the option to maybe even test it out. Maybe you do the test, but if you do the test and you answer and I'm putting Slytherin or I'm putting Hufflepuff or really anything but Gryffindor, right? Because if that's my want, well, it's like, well, that was fun. And I guess it is realistic, but I wanted to do Gryffindor. So give people like that, and maybe that's me, maybe it's you, maybe it's nobody, maybe it's everybody. Give them that choice where you just pick. I want to be Gryffindor, I'll pick Gryffindor. But also people that say, well, you know what? I'm going to play as all 4 eventually anyway, so just let me take my test, and then you put me wherever you want to put me, and that's going to be my storyline. That's how I play the game. That, I think that would help. Again, goodwill. That'll make people, I think, like them a little bit more. Not that we don't like them, but I think it continues to help. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. Make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel, bell icon turned on so you know when all these videos go up. If you guys want to follow me anywhere else, all my social media, including our Patreon and YouTube memberships, are in the description below. Thank you guys for watching, and I hope to see you all on the next video.